What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Little different video today, by the way, but before I get into this, I want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. You also know I'm a Weeble Preferred Influencer. Best promotion they've had in a long time. I think we're probably going to get 50 people in before the end of the month. All you have to do is open an account. They're going to give you 2 fractional shares. And I've seen some big companies get pulled. I talked about it past couple videos. Sony, Microsoft, EA, Apple, companies you want to keep. Well, you know, EA, who knows, right? But also, if you deposit just $1, they're going to give you more free shares. I often don't talk about the value. I'll put the value down there, but listen, to me, that's a bit of an oversell by them. But you guys do have the opportunity to get free money. All you have to do is use that link. Don't even have to deposit money. Just open an account. Now, last week, I watched this short little NFL film segment on Stump Mitchell, and man, it's such a good video if you haven't seen it, if you don't know who Stump Mitchell is. So essentially what this does is showcase to you the NFL is fully aware of the shortcomings of Madden, and make no mistake about it, the game is so far behind. And to be honest with you, as I watched this knowing who Stump Mitchell is, and the relationship he's had in the NFL with his players, it kind of hurt me even more to know this isn't even touched within Madden. So, if you don't know, he's a running backs coach. He is currently right now with the Cleveland Browns, but he's been in a lot of different positions and a lot of different teams. It actually goes through that. Shows him here in a former team's shirt. Also, you can see in the background there's a whiteboard because he is drawing up plays, teaching players, educating the people that he works with. Now, before that, though, he did actually get drafted. He played in the NFL. Very important to this. 9th round pick out of the Citadel. And he goes on and says, listen, when I have players that come in and they're the 4th string back, I take special care with them. I approach them and let them know, hey, I ran behind Otis Anderson. I wasn't the starting back, but I had to make the most out of every opportunity that was given to me. And it's critical that you understand your role within a team, even if it's not the lead running back position or the number 1 or number 2 player on the depth chart. Because if you actually look in the Cardinals franchise history books, only Larry Fitzgerald has more all-purpose yards than Stump does. And I'm sure everyone knows former Madden cover athlete Larry Fitzgerald. So the fact that we used to have players that could transition into coaches and we really don't have it now, that's a big thing. But you also have to have these coaches that matter, right? It has to actually impact the players on the team. And when you talk about players, bring up another cover athlete, Shaun Alexander, right? Now, I was a big Shaun Alexander fan. I think a lot of people were. But I do want to say, I remember Deion Sanders, after Shaun signed that massive contract, called him the tiptoe burglar. Because he said Shaun would just kind of tiptoe into the line and then fall down and take the money that he got paid. Every time I look at Shaun Alexander, I think of that line, and I feel so bad because Shaun really did have a great career. But before we get into the players that Stump actually coached, it has a great segment of Kareem Hunt on field during a game arguing with Stump. All the audio is there, where he basically says, listen, I don't like the way I'm being used in this offense. I'm not being able to make the impact that I want because of your coaching. We don't have this in a game of Madden, much less in a season of Madden. But because you have a coach that's been a player, that understands player roles, that actually teaches, motivates, and makes his player better, he basically says, listen, he was upset he wasn't getting the ball. But I told him we were going to find ways to put him in the game plan. That game. Now, I do want to just pause and take a moment and say that within the context of a Madden game, or any NFL game, or any football game, there has to be a give and take, right? If you're going to have a coach come in and give this, then the other team has to lose it. And when you watch this video, you get the impression that the Browns are going to do everything they can to keep Stump on their coaching staff as long as he's able to get these results. At the end of the day, we also know the NFL is a business. And what he was able to do in this game, in this day, is actually take what didn't start well for Kareem Hunt, right? Where maybe a different coach couldn't pull that player back in and generate a positive performance, but actually ended up getting him a game ball. How many times do you see, just a couple weeks ago, Robbie Anderson blows up on the sideline, has an argument with a coach, right? Instead of being pulled back and go out and making plays, he's going off the field. We see this all the time. This is what simulation football needs to have. Go back and they talk about the relationship he has with his players and how it's different from other coaches. What makes him valuable? What makes it worth your time to sit down with a game and build out a franchise? And props to this guy in the blue polo for leaning so far over, right? The other guy on the side, he's not even trying to get that extension. The girl in the hoodie wants no part of this. I'm just saying, when you have things like this happen, you have to respect that guy's reaching. Speaking of reaching, back to Sean Alexander, the tiptoe burglar. You know, he did reach an incredible milestone in his running back career. And to me, when you see him say that Stump is the reason for that, that's a powerful statement. You know, this is a man that actually accomplished a lot in the NFL and crediting one person for his success. Now, if that isn't enough, you have to go back and look at the lineage of running backs that Stump has actually coached, and it's not a fluke, right? You can't look at players like Clinton Portis, David Johnson, especially David Johnson, because look at what happened when Stump left Arizona, right? David Johnson fell off the earth. David Johnson looked like a Marshall Faulk-esque player, right? 1,000. Roger Craig, how many times do you see it? Not a lot. These coaches are so valuable in the actual aspect of the NFL. And I stress to you that they're not even replicated in Madden. And there's a video on the NFL's page that has coaches, players, examples of exactly why this is so critical. And I'll end it here. Bruce Arians, longtime coach, very special coach in the NFL. Obviously, you guys know I'm a Colts fan. Spent time with the Colts, took over when Chuck Pagano got sick. Always have a spot in my heart for Bruce Arians. Also, local guy, coached right up the street. When he says this is the best running back coach I've ever had, that matters. That says a lot to me as a fan, right? I know this isn't just said for a video. I know that he believes that. He knows that. You know, we've had so many things in this community try to express to EA why franchise modes are important to us, what we want in a franchise mode. It goes way beyond. There was a hashtag that trended 2 years ago. They have all the access to the NFL. They can go back and watch that complete sideline blow up. And they don't put these things in the game. The NFL's own YouTube page is sitting here promoting how important it is to have players and coaches like this in the league so that you, as a fan, respect the game more, interact with the game more, appreciate the game more. Yet the only NFL-branded video game can't get anywhere close to this. And the fact that we know this is years and years and years of programming, not something they can just put in, is astonishing to me. They don't need me or you or Twitter to tell them what they need to make their game better. They need to sit down and actually watch these documentaries. Watch NFL football. I've always been a big proponent to say don't disrespect these people and say they don't watch football. They most certainly do. It's more insulting to me that I know they watch football. They still can't get these, I don't even want to call them details, major aspects of the game into their product. The fact that people sit there and say they must not watch football just shows how low of a bar they've set with this game. Would love for you guys to let me know what you think about this video. Would also love for you to run over and watch this little documentary and tell me what you think about it. Maybe leave a comment and say, hey, I like Stump Mitchell so much, I'd love to see him in Madden, and not as a mutt cart, as an actual coach that changes the way my team plays. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching this video. You know, as long as Madden can continue to get literally nothing properly implemented in its game, I will always be able to be back in the week with more commentary.